Hey guys, sorry. I'll be right in. I will be right in. So, man, did I really enjoy our guest this afternoon? I'm still riding a bit on that little high. Hey, Star Seeker, how are you, my friend? Long John says, "Hey, Yogi man." Hey, Long John, how are you? Hey, Jess. Let's see, Red Bull Princess guys. I want to make sure that everyone knows to subscribe to Red Bull Princess. You might think that you already subscribed. Remember, this is a new channel. She had to restart her channel. Make sure you go by and hang out. Hey Keith, how are you? How you been? Liza, nice to see you. Hey, thank you for the comments that you left on some of my shorts and videos. Mustafa, how are you? Mustafa said, Eric, thank you for hosting our guest today. It was wonderful, and we look forward to more. I got some more coming up. Um, Hopefully next week. I hope you have an amazing night too, Red Bull. Thank you, Mustafa. She very much resonated with me. Sometimes it felt like we were just communicating heart to heart. Very beautiful. Simple says, greetings, beautiful souls across the pond, but under the same festive skies. Sarasika, how are you? Hi, Kat. Long just says, picked up my records at post office from that dentist who knocked out my teeth, and he withheld info. And he said I tried to fight him, which is nonsense. I need that bill. Are you ready? All right. This is for our friend Long John, for peace, for a sense of serenity in what feels and seems like chaos right now, for everything working out, for Long John's highest good, perfectly, effortlessly. Prayers and love to you, my friend. 3 times. For you, Long John. Sarasika says, Sniper, thank you for the talk a few days ago. Everyone enjoyed it. Had to leave early. Where'd that go? Hope you and your good lady wife are well. Mustafa says how wonderful it is to help each other. It is. Absolutely. Hey, Michael. Michael, how are you? Long just says, I just looked at my records as well. Just got emotional. Hey, what's going on with the lawyer? Cats just had a beautiful people. Hey, Lady Sky. Mustafa says, thank you, Star Seeker. And yes, all well here, enjoying time off from schooling. Star Seeker says, prayers to Long John. Thank you, Mustafa. So I was gonna have Tom Wakechild up tonight, but you know, I felt like hanging out with you guys for an hour or so, and I also wanted to let everything that Jenny Marie, I wanted to let that sort of sit in and let it sink in. You're welcome, my friend. This guy says, I hope everyone had a great Christmas celebration yesterday. I pray it was a fantastic day for you. Awesome prayer. Thank you, Lady Sky. Now it's the countdown to 2026. If you guys have any plans for 2026, if you have any intentions, let's talk about intention rather than resolutions. Now, of course, Miracles might point out there's a reason why most resolutions don't work. Because we're dealing with effects and not cause. If we could trace every addiction, let's say we wanted to give up drinking in 2026, we wanted to give up smoking in 2026, we wanted to give up a host of any other bad habit or even an addiction. Of Course in Miracles and other schools of positive psychology would point out that you can grit your teeth and try to change behaviors. You can try to change effects. However, it's always going to be with limited success, and it's always going to come with the cost of exerting a large amount of energy. Let's take quitting drinking. I think had I tried to quit drinking, I got pretty good willpower. You know, it helped get me through a lot of races when I was feeling miserable. Unfortunately, it also put me in the hospital for a lot of races. Well, one race. But it put me close to a hospital in a lot of races where I pushed through. So willpower has varying degrees of success, and you can run out of willpower. John McCain brought that up. People told him, when he came out that, well, they never broke you. He said, of course they did. Everyone has a braking limit. I found that out doing 100-mile races. Some races I finished, some races I didn't. The ones that I did had nothing to do with willpower and everything to do with letting go. Letting go of the need to finish, letting go of the need to get that belt buckle, letting need of setting a personal record, letting go of all of that, and allowing myself to be carried upon inspiration. Hey, Jess. Jess says, giving up trying to convince others on my thought patterns. That's a big one. That's a really big one. We exert so much energy. This guy says, sorry, Yogi, I watched it last night. Die Hard movie. As long as you don't believe that you were watching a Christmas movie, Mustafa says, Eric, how can we make the channel better? What can we do? It's a good question. I don't know if there's anything I can do offhand, but here's the question. What would you think would make the channel better? Mustafa, what would you think? Cat, Long John, Starseeker, Sniper, Jess, Michael, Lady Sky, what do you think would make the channel better? Here's what I'm thinking. Black lights. Black lights and day glow posters in the background. Hey, Coffee Cake, how are you? Coffee Cake, I'm hoping that by New Year's I will have a yoga routine for you to do. This guy says it is a Christmas movie. It's a movie that takes place on Christmas. Just says yes, black lights and a Led Zeppelin poster in the back. All right, I can do that. I can do that. Lava lamps. I can do that too, Sherry. I could do impromptu dance breaks if you want. Coffee Cake says, "Oh, that sounds great. Thank you. You're welcome." Let's see. Just says, every time it allows me to hype channel, I do. That helps a bit. Well, some of you can see, ladies, ladies cat says, Yogi, doing the Elaine dance. Would that make my channel better or would that make my channel worse? Hey, yes, that Sarasika says, I do potentially have an idea for a speaker. She saved my life with her knowledge of healing and medical background. If you want to send me the information, if you want to reach out to this person first, maybe the sound of running water in the background, that means I'd be going to the bathroom every 6.5 minutes for sure. Mustafa says, I believe that to make the channel better, we need first to attract many subscribers, but those subscribers must be very interested in the topics we present about A Course in Miracles. Course in Miracles, healing, yoga, meditation, breath work, shamanism, various schools of magic, um, different forms of conscious exploration. What else? Any of that stuff. Okay, this guy says, better yogi, Lou. Um, Sarasika says, yes. Well, I appreciate that. Sherry says, I'm content with the channel as it is. Thank you, Sherry. Michael says, did you have a good Christmas, Yogi? I did have a good Christmas, Michael. Thank you. How about you? Mustafa says, are you proud of us, Eric? We are family here. Um, you know what? It's weird. I never thought in terms of proud or not. I tell you what, I do love you guys. Absolutely. And I'm glad you said family. I always tell people that I am not, I don't particularly like the term community any longer because community has a lot of rules and regulations. You belong to community, and if you step out of bounds, if you step out of community norms, you are excommunicated from communities. You're asked to leave communities. You're banished. You're set aside, and I don't like that. But I like family. Family is always welcome. Families, you accept people for all their peculiarities. There's another P word that I was going to use, but I wasn't sure. I couldn't quite get it. You know, we allow ourselves certain um, idiosyncrasies. Did I get that word? Did I say it right? We allow people to be weird. We, again, to use the example of Rudolph, the island of misfit toys. We don't demand someone to be different. Come in here with your problems, with your issues, with your very unique weirdness that you have. Uh, let's accept it. Let's embrace it. Not only that, let's use everyone who comes in that triggers us as a way of being kinder. Let that be our practice. So I'm glad you said family, Mustafa. And as family, couldn't be prouder. I couldn't be prouder than to hang out with you guys. Coffee Cake says, I enjoy your channel when you had the guest host, the one about sleep. I actually fell asleep. It was so interesting though, and I just couldn't hear what the channel's name was. She doesn't have she doesn't have a channel. She has a book called Awaken Sleep, and I did a I think about 7 minute clip, long form video, uh, where she talked about like the whole little structure of a routine, including the sleep mantra. So it is on my channel. Thank you for that. So my channel's different than it was several months ago. Proceed with the pen wagging. Proceed with the pen wagging. Thank you, Lady Sky. I have now been given blessings. Mustafa says, one book says, be kind to succeed at everything. Ken Wilber wrote a wonderful little book, Cast No One Out. We need to ban name calling. I do not like name calling. I wish, what I wish was people didn't feel the need to do it, right? But yeah, Jess, I agree. I would like everyone to set aside differences, maybe reduce the ego just a bit so that we don't have that need to, we can disagree with someone and it never has to be resort to a name calling. Type says community can get weaponized. It can. And I had that. Um, and again, I mentioned I'm most definitely not a leader. I will tell you, I read this all the time, but I'll read it again. This is my daily prayer. This is a prayer of my channel. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. So I am here, this channel, YouTube, only to be truly helpful to the extent that I'm able. I don't know what that's going to look like. It's going to be different. The key is I don't try. For me, it comes down to asking the Holy Spirit what I should do. What does being truly helpful look like in this situation? And it might look different in another different situation. This guy agreed to that. A name calling, it's too childish in a way. I agree. Zephyr says, yes, they don't know what's coming. If they did, then it would matter to them too. Mustafa says, I don't like bullying either, Lady Sky. It's kind of like a cold, get everyone infected. Beautifully said. Eric, believe me, it would be great if you brought two different guests on screen at the same time and they spoke normally. Ideally, guests like Duff Fishman and Tom would be perfect. Yep, I'd have to get StreamYard. Hey, Magiza. Magiza, how are you? Magiza, I will reach out. I found your email in spam just the other day, actually. Long just says, happened to run into Jace. He says he watches the channels a good bit, but believes he has a different belief system based around astrology. He said he still likes to visit us, though. Yeah, he popped in last week. Jace is always welcome. I watch Jace as well. But Giza, how are you? Michael says, I think you can only bring one guest up on standard YouTube live, though. Yes. So I'm always hesitant to add more technology. McGeeza said, yes, no worries, mate. I'm all good. Thank you. I'm chairing my first meeting at my home group on Monday. Nice. Hey, McGeeza, we were talking about our friend Mustafa was asking about proud. Am I proud of my channel? Am I proud of um, my friends here? And for what it's worth, McGeeza, I could not be more prouder than you right now for you. What you've accomplished. Michael says, Eric, there's a free plan to StreamYard as well. You don't have to pay. It wasn't so much paying as the technical stuff. You guys see me mess up just the regular old version here on YouTube. No bells and whistles. So I'd be afraid to add too much. Lady Sky says that's why I was scared to show you myself a few months ago, Yogi. I didn't want to be getting bullied by anyone. We would not allow it, Lady Sky. Michael says he used a free plan on StreamYard for my streams. Lady Sky says, I have a lack of confidence in myself. It feels like Yogi, to be honest. I can understand that. Hey, if you could see yourself the way your friends see you, with all the love that we have for you, you would never suffer lack of confidence again. Your friends that came to the live stream here love you so much. They showed up in full force, nothing but support. They were so kind. They were joking. It was funny. I really appreciated them, how they showed up for you. The love they have for you is so evident. McGeeza says, thank you so much. That means a lot. It's been tough the last few months, but working the program has not only helped me to stay sober, but also to grow as a person. But you know what? That's the amazing thing about the 12 steps. If you work in the steps, it's not just about being sober. It's about being a different person than you were when you were addicted. McGeeza, you are growing into someone who's no longer going to be addicted. It's no longer going to be an issue in your life. We work the program not just to get out of the throes of our addiction. We work the program to literally become someone different, a version of ourselves that didn't exist when we were drinking. I can promise you that will happen. Michael says it gets easier as you get used to it. Took a few tries before I got the hang of it. Star Seeker says, sending Lady Sky lots of hugs and love. Thank you, Star Seeker. Michael says, I've only been on Yogi's stream once or twice. And the way I look at it, if people don't like me, they can swipe. Their opinions of me don't affect me anymore. Awesome. Lady Sky says, just wish I knew how to build my confidence up, Yogi. Let's work on that, Lady Sky. I have a clip of I forget who asked. It was for Marine Mondoon, and someone asked about confidence. But think of all your talents, Lady Sky. You have a beautiful voice. You're a wonderful singer. You're a wonderful cook. You're funny. You have a huge heart. You share so much. Um, you are beautiful. I don't know. I do understand that. I have been in positions in my life where my confidence was completely shattered. I've been in a position in my life when I had none, zero, as a kid, all the way up through my teens. Hey, Carl. Good evening, my friend. Is Tina here, Carl? Hi to Tina if you're here. Megiddo says, it's taught me patience, resilience. It's taught me to let go of things. It's taught me to forgive myself. It's taught me so much. It taught me that I cannot control people, places, and things. It's a complete spiritual path. The 12 steps. Coffee Cake says, Eric, what was your first vision of your channel? Funny. I started my channel sort of accidentally. I was supporting a lot of people in the burpee community way, way back in the day. This is like 5 years ago. Um, and after a couple years, people were like, hey, we know you do burpees. Can you just do a video? Share some of your burpees. And I did. And after I did my burpees, I sat down in front of the camera and I talked about breath work, yoga, and of course, miracles. I was only going to do one video. And the next day, everyone was like, hey, we don't care if you do burpees again, but can you tell us more about yoga and some breath work? I talked a bit about shamanism, and they were like, can we talk more about that? Um, so I tied it in. Burpees, that's why I was just a yogi doing burpees in the basement. And the reason I got that title, the person I was with at the time uh, said, you know what? You're not quite there for Social Security. The money that you have saved up, my inheritance from being a caregiver for my father, um, after he passed away, was getting low. And she's like, you don't have a car, you're going to need to do something. Why don't you do something with your channel? Hey, Daniel, why don't you see if you can get monetized? Talking about, I forget what she said. And I said, I don't know what I would do on a channel. I'm just a yogi doing burpees in my basement. And she said, that's the name. There you go. So for about 2 years, I was just a yogi doing burpees in my basement. And then I dropped doing burpees in my basement. I still do burpees in my basement. But now I started getting a vision of what I wanted to do. Live streaming. I wanted to create a place of kindness, a place of caring, where I could talk about the things that help me navigate what to me seems like a very difficult life. Navigating as a kid with speech impediment, very shy, with some troubles with my eyes, that had me feeling like a victim. Uh, Navigating through a 10-year journey through addiction, navigating being a caregiver for 10 years to my mom with dementia, navigating divorce, navigating being with the same person after we got divorced for an additional 13 years, navigating being an end of life, a critical caregiver for my father. Um, so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to talk about that. It's funny, all the bumps that I've hit on the road, people getting upset with me, getting upset with my channel, all of that caused me to pivot in new directions. This is why Doug Fishman says, be grateful for your triggers. So I was able to visit Soccer Basics. Thank you, my friend. Much appreciated the jewels. Carl says he likes his live streams. I like your live streams too. So it's only now that my channel, the vision is starting to take shape. This is what I want to do more than anything ever. Honestly, this and being a writer. And I do write every day. I write what I talk about here. Talking about all the things that I think can help someone, bringing up wonderful guests, and then putting out the content from what they've shared with us. This is my vision for my channel. Place of kindness, a place where people come up, they talk about kindness, they talk about forgiveness, they talk about love, they offer tips on a better night's sleep, they offer tips on breathing, on fitness, on emotional health, mental health, physical health. This is it. I have created the exact place that I want. Sorry. Let me take that back. I have been gifted by grace. The exact place that I could ask for has appeared. Hey, 72 Blueberries, my friend, how are you? Mustafa says, Lady Sky, are there any other dishes you'd like to share with Eric on live? Oh, yeah, Lady Sky. I definitely want this to be a place where those that I care about feel like they can come up and share what they care about. You know what, Lady Sky? You know what made me completely happy about you coming up Christmas Eve? Was seeing you do one of the things that make you so happy. You were shining. "72 Berries says, Dear Lady Sky, I hear you. It's a vulnerable space from where to live. I speak from personal experience and understand some of what you might be feeling. Different for each person. Thanks for sharing." So, you guys have given me the channel that I've wanted. We've created this place together. Thank you. Honestly, thank you, thank you, thank you. If it was not for you, I'd be some old bald guy talking in front of a camera, completely by myself. So 72 Blueberries, we figured out. So it's actually been 25 years that we've known each other. Maybe 26. Carl says, my new channel only has 4 moderators. Thanks, Jess. Appreciate that. New Year's balloons, 2026, 260 joules. Hey, Tree Frog. Carl says, but Yogi, you don't listen to me? When you go live, when you go live and I see you live, I always have you up in the background. I hear you sing. Coffee Cake says, Coffee, thank you for asking that question. Well, thank you for sharing that. You made that vision come true. We've hit some bumps along the way. I appreciate the fact that you guys have stood with me during those bumps. Trifo says, Lady Sky, hello and blessings. Lady Sky says, I'm old, I'll be 42 in 2026. I'm literally wearing things that are older than you right now, Lady Sky. I'm not even making that up. I am literally wearing things that are older than you. Mustafa says, Lady Sky, what about me? I'm going to be 70. So my plan, 2026 for my channel, keep reaching out to people who might want to come up. Purple says 42. You got at least 49 more years to go. Hopefully more. Me, I'm 60. Who knows? I'm actually closer to 61. I'm as surprised as you are. Carl says, I was talking to people today, Yogi, and you never reached out to them. I didn't see you live today, Carl. I'm sorry. Today I did not see you live. Lady Sky says, "Oh, cool, nice milestone. Nice milestone for you, Mustafa." City Two Blueberry says, laughing. Whatever the time length, we know someone. We know only what we think we know until it changes. It is an honor to have met you, Eric. You have been constant, even when I don't show up. You always shown up when I've needed you. And you know what? I mentioned this to you last night. You are someone who's always believed in me. My early writing, my early books. Been a good friend. And I do try to be a constant, you know? I want someone that I've known 25 years ago. Um, to look at me and think, you know what? This is, to me, this would be the highest praise. Someone that I knew 25 years ago that said, you know what? You were a kind, loving, helpful presence 25 years ago. And you remain and have grown even further into a kind, loving, helpful presence now. Carl says, very few people believe in me, but Martina does. It's nice to have that one person. Mustafa says, oh, 32 Blueberry says, you have been there even when you're not there in other typical ways. For that, I am most grateful. You as well, my friend. You as well. You were there for me both with the loss of my mother and with my father. Mustafa says, Eric, what should we do as we get older to ensure a good ending for our souls? Well, your soul will not end. Here you are a soul. We don't have a soul. We are souls. We are soul. One soul. Now, of course, in a yogic view, it's about reducing our karma, the karmic effect, by increasing good karma. Good night, Carl. Working through the karmic effects. Here's the thing. This is where Course in Miracles becomes yoga. In yoga, we got the 4 paths of reducing karma: karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, raja yoga. All of them, to varying degrees, will reduce the effects of karma. The 5th limb of yoga: forgiveness. Course in Miracles. Because now karma becomes irrelevant, because we've forgiven it. Not only, sometimes it feels like, even with yoga, we go from effect and effect and effect. I forgive this, I forgive that, I forgive this event, this situation, that person, this person. It's all about effects, right? Course in Miracles says, don't worry about effects. You're never going to be able to forgive yourself out of effects. We live in a world of effects, and every effect has infinite causes, and each cause has infinite more effects. It's a busy world we live in. So instead of forgiving effects, we go straight to the source. We forgive source. And the source is always only one thing. There's only one problem. That problem is our belief that we are separate from God. And in being separate from God, we are separate from each other. It has infinite effects, but only one cause. Go within, deal with that. Forgive the belief, because it's an illusion. It's only belief. Forgive the cause, and the effects don't matter. '72 Blueberry says, Eric, you've helped me through some rough storms, and it takes a strong guiding spirit to be there. One is able. Yes, I remember collapsing when you gave me the news of your mother's passing. Yeah. Taking my night supplement, 1 milligram of melatonin. And you actually called me after my dad's passing. Mustafa says, you're absolutely right. Let's dig up A Course in Miracles real quick, guys. That's right. I heard everyone groan. Again, seriously, we were having such a good time. Lesson 121. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. Here is the answer for your search for peace. Peace would be a peaceful soul. 72 says, I did, and I was ready to fly there. I appreciate that. Here's the key to meaning in a world that seems to make no sense. Here's a way to safety and apparent dangers that appear to threaten you at every turn and bring uncertainty to all your hopes of ever finding quietness and peace. Here are all questions answered. Here, the end of all uncertainty, in short, at last. The unforgiving mind is full of fear and offers love no room to be itself, no place where it can spread its wings in peace and soar above the turmoil of the world. The unforgiving mind is sad without the hope of respite and release from pain. It suffers and abides in misery, peering about in darkness, seeing not yet certain of the danger lurking there. It goes on. It paints a very bleak picture of an unforgiving mind. And yet, the forgiveness, a forgiving mind, is the key to happiness. The next lesson, lesson 122, my favorite lesson, I believe. Forgiveness offers everything I want. I won't read the whole thing, but this is, I think, some of the most beautiful words in all of the course. Maybe in some of spiritual literature, anywhere. What could you want forgiveness cannot give? Do you want peace? Forgiveness offers it. Do you want happiness, a quiet mind, a certainty of purpose, and a sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do you want care and safety and the warmth of shore protection always? Do you want a quietness that cannot be disturbed, a gentleness that can never be hurt, a deep abiding comfort and a rest so perfect it can never be upset? All this forgiveness offers you and more. It sparkles on your eyes as you awake and gives you joy in which to meet the day. It soothes your forehead while you sleep and rests upon your eyelids as you see no dreams of fear and evil, malice, and attack. And when you wake, it offers you another day of happiness and peace. All this forgiveness offers you and more. One little passage left. Forgiveness lets the veil be lifted that hides the face of Christ from those who look with unforgiving eyes upon the world. It lets you recognize the Son of God and clears your memory of all dead thoughts so that remembrance of your Father can arise across the threshold of your mind. What would you want forgiveness cannot give? What gifts but these are worthy to be sought? What fancied value, trivial effects, or transient promise, never to be kept, can hold any more than what forgiveness brings? It took me a while to get past the first 50 lessons in the Course of Miracles, because the first 50 are the path of negation. It takes things away from you. It takes away your very identity as a person. It takes away everything you value. You're welcome, Mustafa. Takes away even your thoughts. My thoughts don't mean anything. One of the key lessons in A Course in Miracles. Lesson 25, another one of my favorite lessons. I don't know what anything is for. Who wants to hear that? Of course I know what something's for. Nope. You think you do. By the time you get to 25, you really begin suspecting. I don't know what anything's for. But it can be too much, so you shove the book aside. Besides, I was chasing after enlightenment, right? I was reading books on Zen. I was practicing self-realization, meditation, studying all the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda and other great yogis. I was going to Buddhist retreats out in Bethesda. But I knew Course of Miracles was my path. I kept coming back to it. A friend of mine that I would go to self-realization fellowship classes with. Hey, Cor. Cor says, Yogi, I have something for you. Here. I hope it's a beautiful bird video. And I bet it is a pretty beautiful bird video. I'm going to be here, Tiger King. Duck butt. Awesome. Awesome, Corey. I love it. For those who might know, I absolutely love ducks. I'm going to be returning to this often. Thank you, Corey. Hey, Shaky, how are you, my friend? What the duck? Yep, Tiger King, I will be here. 72 Blueberry says, Eric, you gifted me something decades ago when we met. I didn't make this connect when coming up with the username 72 Blueberries. That gift has a blue cover, 72 names of God in it, full circle. Zohar. I carried that with me for quite some time, and it felt like the most natural thing in the world to give you that. Full circle. That's beautiful. I love how that worked out. Mustafa says, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Thank you so much, Cora. So, my friend I went to the Self Realization Fellowship with, I'm bringing the video up too. I will watch this before bed. He asked me, we were having coffee together. So, what do you think our path to self realization is? Is it Yogananda? Is it Buddhism? Is it something else? I had an interest in Kabbalah at the time. And he expected me to say yoga because I loved yoga. But without any hesitation, surprising myself with the assurity, I said, A Course in Miracles. It's the path of awakening for me, for sure. And I had yet to make it all the way through the workbook at that time. When I finally did make it to lesson 122 and I read Forgiveness offers everything that I want, and I read this and I thought, you know what? This is awakening. This is enlightenment. It is not being on a mountaintop. It is not being in an ashram. It is not being in a cave. It's being at peace with who I am wherever I find myself. It is having an unconditionally loving heart. It is being forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. Forgiveness is the path to peace. Now, let me unpack something here. This is, people often mistake forgiveness for what we have been led to believe is forgiveness. I just read this earlier. This is true forgiveness. This is radical forgiveness. Forgiveness lets the veil be lifted up that hides the face of Christ from those who look with unforgiving eyes upon the world. Forgiveness is seeing the face of Christ in everyone, no exceptions. The face of Christ in those who, in the one who's mugged you, and the one who's kicked you when you're down, and the one who's called you a name, and the one that has committed the biggest atrocity in the world. The face of Christ is within them. That's a hard thing to accept. How can the face of Christ be within them when they've done this horrible thing? Because they're lost. That face is so far hidden, they don't even know it's there. It's our job to recognize it. Do you know why? If it is hidden, it's not just hidden from them, it is hidden from us. So we look so we see it within ourselves. But here's the secret. This doesn't mean you don't defend yourself from being mugged. This doesn't mean that you don't try to reduce the atrocities in the world. Now you do it with a completely loving heart, unattached to the outcome. You do it because you feel the call of mercy. You feel the call of grace. You feel the call of service, of helping others in every possible situation. And you're guided. You make just the right move, take just the right step. Second part was it lets you recognize the Son of God and clears your memory of all dead thoughts so that the remembrance of your Father can arise from the threshold of your mind. That means you're right here in the present moment. So important. All right. Enough of that. Tiger King says, Eric, with a quick question, Eric, on New Year's Eve, will we be doing a countdown? Nope, I will be asleep by midnight, Tiger King. And it doesn't make sense for me to count down to 7 p.m., does it? I can do a count, Tiger King, I can do a countdown and then go, well, okay, it's 7 p.m., I'm going to bed. See you guys. Nope, Miss Flipper is not here, Tiger King. Well, let's say Happy New Year to my brother. Yes, I don't necessarily know I will see him on New Year's. We live in the same house, but I can go days without seeing him. We can go days without speaking. No animosity, just busy. Of course, as I'd love to hear everyone's opinions. I'm new to photography. Cora might be new to photography, but she's highly skilled. She has a passion for what she's doing. She has a very keen and consistent eye for nature's beauty, especially birds. Guys, if you can't tell, I'm a Cora Bird fan. I'm a fan of her channel. I'm a fan of Cora Bird herself. Uh, she's a beautiful, kind-hearted person. I hope everyone here has subscribed and supports her 100%. Tiger King, what are you going to do for New Year's? 72 Blueberries says, sorry, I've been ducking Jen out of this stream. Bacon and macaroni pie. Ducking in and out of this stream. Got you. I think I learned about Kabbalah from you. Eric, and you brought the book, The Power of Kabbalah. Thank you for that. Good guide. Yep, I got another copy of that somewhere around here. You're welcome, Corey. Tiger King says, Cora Bird, do you see woodpecker? Hey, Gavin, I'm sorry that you're sick, my friend. Well, I've been up for almost an hour. Tiger King says, take my wife out for a meal. Nice. Then going on Gay Village Eric. Sounds like a good time. So our friend Coffee Cake asked, vision for my channel? A place to learn and practice true forgiveness. We're going to wrap things up in just a little bit. This office is Eric. It's good to remember some old friends. It is. I have lost a few over the past several years. Weird. 3 friends each year in March, the last 3 years. All of their names began with L, and they were from different stages of my life. First girl I ever kissed. She passed away. Name was Lisa. A couple years older than me. We were neighbors. She passed away this March. My best friend in the 90s. Sadly, my drinking partner. Sadly for me. We were good friends, but Um, when I think of those drinking times, they weren't good times. His name was Larry. He passed away the March before last. My best friend in high school. Man, so many adventures with him. His name was Larry too. He passed away the March before that. You get a certain age, you're faced with loss. You're faced with what feels like loss. So it is good to remember some old friends and cherish the old friends that you still have and do every opportunity to make some new friends. Speaking of which, Mustafa, I appreciate making a new friend with you. Tiger King, I appreciate making a new friend with you. And Cora and later Lady Sky, Star Seeker, Squirrel Sniper, if you're still here hanging out. Do the bell for them? I can do that. I got the wrong pen to be singing that, Tiger King. I got just a plain old regular big pen. My pen is not better than anyone else's pen. Now, the pen that was made by Nature's Dog Realm. So this is for these particular three friends. The reason I mention them is because their names began with L. I lost them all in a 3-year streak, and all of them in the month of March. But the list is long. You don't make it to 60. Heck, I don't think you make it to 50 without losing, right? My parents, divorce. There's a long list of loss. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I'll explain that in a minute. To those that we've lost, this is for all of us, guys. To those that we've lost, to those that we've seemed to have lost, may we know there's no such thing as loss. As Mustafa quoted from the Course of Miracles above, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. That means there's no loss. Love is essential. Love is who we are. When we have loved someone, that love remains and always will. That which recognized our love, that soul, still remains and always will. We are connected now as much as we ever were. This is for all of us 3 times. There is no loss. Certainly feels like it, though. Thanks for that suggestion, Tiger King. And you're welcome, Mustafa. You're welcome, Sniper. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for being such good friends. Thank you, Tiger King. You're a mate to have you're a great man. I'm okay. I'm okay. Love you too, my friend. 72 Blueberry says, do you have a good group of friends here? They feel sound authentic. Does it get better than that? Being genuine. Hey, it reminds me of our Chopra days, hanging out on the Chopra boards. Because, there was contention back then, even in the prayer circle. There was debates, there was arguments. What's important is feeling our way through all of that stuff. 72 Blueberry says yes. Hey, nothing makes me happier than having you part of this. All right, I got my first guest for next week. Fiona Visser, Course in Miracles student, teacher, author. She will be up Friday the 2nd. And at 5:25 time, which means I need to take a nap. Awesome. I will keep reaching out to people. I reached out to a bunch today. I want to reach out to some people. I don't want to be exclusively A Course in Miracles. I want all different healing modalities. I want yogis, I want sages, I want shamans, I want Buddhists, I want priests and priestesses. I want those steeped in the high magical arts. Um, I want everyone that I think, that you think, that we think can help someone. Just says you're way better than okay, Eric. Who else can I call at 3:30 a.m. to help me sleep? Can only think of you. I was happy to be there. I was happy to be there. Blueberry says working through this stuff respectfully is what counts as well. Agreed. Tiger King, or I'm sorry, Tiger King says, Eric, hope you put the idea on the back burner, your podcast. Which idea, Tiger King? Sniper says that's what sets it apart from the observation of an illusion. We gain in other ways. Jess, that made me smile. Saratuka says, good night. Back to the diamond painting. My Nefertiti. Boy, I mangled that word, didn't I? Blessings to you, my friend. Tiger King says, Star Seeker, where are you from? She might already be off, Tiger King. Blueberry says, hi, Tiger King, I'm in Ontario, Canada. Joe Schaefer, hey, if anyone knows anyone, Nefertiti, thank you. Feel free to reach out on my behalf if you think that they'd be a great person to talk to. I could talk about shamanism all day. I can talk about all this stuff all day, obviously, because they do 3 times a day. But it's always better with a guest. Oh, gotcha. He said you might be doing a podcast a couple weeks ago. I'm asking, have you put that back burner because you haven't mentioned it since? So I don't know the technical things of podcasting. So what I was going to do was continue the live streaming, but only for guests. This was a thought. So I wouldn't be doing these live streams anymore, or very seldom. It would always be with a guest. We'd have questions, and then I would edit it and make videos, which is what I'm doing now. I tell you what, though, I would miss these kind of live streams. Hey, Danny. Well, I'm sorry you were locked out of Google, Danny. I'm glad that you're back. Manifestor says, hope you all had a good Christmas. I hope you did too. So thanks for asking, Tiger King. I do think about that sometimes. I wonder if I'm doing any good live streaming. Sometimes it feels like making a big mess out of things. Again, that ended up being a good thing because it made me pivot and start bringing up these guests. I do wag my pen a lot. Lady Sky has a point. Danny, I hope you had a good Christmas, my friend. We're going to shut things down in about 5 minutes or a little less. Tiger King says, if you only do live with guests, um, just say you do. Does that mean we can still come up on your live or not? That means I wouldn't be doing things like that much, very seldom. Um, but again, that was sort of my feel safe. But when we have conversations like this, when we have conversations like the 5 a.m. conversations that we have, it makes me realize how much I love it. How much I love you guys. Well, oh, Miss Blipper, Sniper, they're they're part of the show. The show must go on. Uh, they're, you know, the fishbowl of imperatives, Sniper, Miss Blipper, imperatives. They belong to the channel. You know what I mean? They are they are intricate. Man, why is it certain words just don't come out right? Hey, Legend Scream, get it to you, my friend. They are essential. Danny said I had a nice Christmas. I hope you had a nice Christmas as well. Thank you, Danny. Hey, Environman. Science is to cut into parts. Expect in one thing, shamanism is to bring all the parts together, and expert all things. I like that thought. Michael says, "Hey there, Yogi. Showing some extra support from the second channel. Thank you, Michael." Well, Tiger King, as of now, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, you're welcome to come up whenever you feel like you can do it. Just says spelling. The only thing worse than my language is my spelling. Lizard Scream says language can be funny sometimes, especially the way I say it. Hey, Alamo City, that's okay. We don't judge people here, Alamo. If you feel that this is a safe place to come out, my friend, feel free. Michael says, laughing Yogi, I feel you. I was doing a live stream on my cracked phone and couldn't say validity to save my life. Hey, I did say that one. Just says because words are spells, we need to be careful how we use them. Lizard Scream says it means to an end, another journey. Tiger King says, oops, Retracted. He said, just why? Sniper says, try again, Alamo. Where are you from, Jess? Jess is from right down the road. Jess and I hung out in the same circles, partied with the same people, hung out at the same lakefront, mall ratted in the same mall. I would say roller skated in the same place, but I was not a roller skater. I was the guy that hung out behind the roller skating rink in my cutoff jean jacket and my Huffy bike, trying to look cool. Cigarette hanging from my lips without actually smoking the cigarette. Sure says, I really like the live format. So, I mentioned I just don't have the technical skills to be like a podcaster. All the bells and whistles and the big mics. Having this phone in front of me and now learning to edit videos is about the extent, I believe, of what I can do. I like going live. I like the fact that you can ask guests questions. But I'll be honest with you. I do dislike the messiness that comes sometimes. It can be difficult. It can be difficult 3 times a day to dive into the messiness. Now, Barry, you were so kind telling me to be careful a week or so ago. Sometimes you need to replenish. I rely on my twice, sometimes 3 a day meditation, my breath work, my yoga. I rely on the practice of forgiveness. That's generally enough. But sometimes what's this that? You laughing at my Huffy bike, man. I was pretty cool with my Huffy bike. It had fake shock absorbers on it, man. Just says fun times. Tiger King says, just what do you mean, Sepidua? Shauna, she means talking about words being spells on the Esoteric Lounge. He did cover it a bit. Jerry says it's more intimate when we engage in real time. I agree. And man, I would have missed meeting you guys. For sure. Sniper says Tiger King to spell is to cast. Every letter is a sigil, every word a woven intent, and every sentence the binding ritual that shapes the fabric of your reality. Jerry says, real life is messy. Real life is messy. Also says I had a Huffy too, unfortunately. I don't know, man. I was pretty cool. So I thought. It was pretty cool, man, with my Kiss belt buckle, my Foreigner t-shirt, my cutoff jean jacket, patches sewn on the back. Just says, thank you, Sniper, for an excellent explanation. Long just says, I'm proud of you, Yogi, for having a Huffy bike and being unafraid to announce with pride that I had a Huffy bike. Long just says, or Sniper says, or Tiger King says, I'll get there. I will get there. Long John, hi, you top person. Long John is a top person. Eric Sex Stripper. I mentioned it. Cherry says, oh yeah, the cutoff jean jackets. I remember. Those, yep, very cool. Now later, a few years later, I traded my cutoff jean jacket for a beat up army jacket I got from Sunny Surplus. Anybody remember Sunny Surplus? Hey Jess, do you remember Sunny Surplus on Route 40? So that was when I was heading in the whole hippie direction. Launcha says, Tiger King. Hey, Tiger King. Nice to see you again, bud. Thank you. Melissa says, ugh, Kiss. I had the jeans with Def Leppard stuff linked all over them. At least they weren't deliberately sliced and cut. Now, you got to remember, this was in 1977. Kiss was huge. I was a member of the Kiss Army. I had a card. I could keep in my wallet. Fortunately, I did grow out of that fairly quickly. I had some what now feels like very synchronistic moments at a young age. Long just says, I remember Sunny Surplus on 40. I loved going to Sunny Surplus. Where else could you buy old shell casings and a compass while your parents were doing school shopping, buying you, brand new pants, Bugle Boy jeans? Just says, yes, I wish Sunny Surplus was still there. Lots of useful stuff. Chatham Mall, right across the street. So one of those magical moments, I mentioned this the other day, me and my Foreigner t-shirt and my Kiss belt buckle, thinking, man, I knew music, right? Nothing was better than Foreigner. Now, of course, as mentioned, I grew up, Beatles were the soundtrack of my life. I did know good music, but I didn't know how good music could be yet. One night watching WKRP in Cincinnati with my parents, and DJ Dr. Johnny Fever was in the booth. He was spinning the record, and it just happened to be Van Morrison's Caravan. I had never heard such a thing. I'd never heard music like that before. Amazing. I remember asking my older sister, my brother-in-law, who's not yet my brother-in-law, who was this? And Van Morrison. They did not care for Van Morrison. He was like older people music. For me, man, it was huge. It was a discovery. Environment says heavy metal is roar. Now, I thought heavy metal was Kiss, thereabouts. This is before I discovered Deep Purple, Black Sabbath. Lady Scott says, I loved Kmart stores, Song John. Kind of feels like a Target store. Yeah, we had Kmart's here. We had a Cook's. I remember C-Mart. I don't know if we had a C-Mart here. We had the Kmart. We had Cook's. We had a Gems when I was a kid. Seven says I rate his weed strain 6 out of 10, Tiger King. Tiger King says, Eric, what do you think is Snoop Dogg? What do I think of Snoop Dogg? I like Snoop Dogg. What's it says? WKRP, Lonnie Anderson. And I don't remember her name, the person who played Bailey. Fireman says Fear Factory merged death metal and electronic. Dr. Johnny Fever. Tiger King says Queen are better. Queen are better than who? Yeah, I don't remember C-Mart. Jess, come on down to Sunny Surplus. Hey, Long John, how often did you make it down in this direction? Sure says, I'm in Canada, but we had Kmart Towers and Max Milk. Tiger King says, yes, what you do on New Year's Eve? This guy says, Cook's Yogi, is that a store you knew? It was. It was kind of like Kmart. Longa says he used to shop at Kmart as well. He used to shop at Kmart, but I did not want people to know that I was shopping at Kmart. Pippa says, nope, The Who are better than Queen. That's interesting. Interesting. I do love The Who. The Who gave me another one of those magical music moments when I first heard The Who live at Leeds. Hearing Roger Daltrey screaming to Young Man's Blues. Magic Bus. Man, guys, you can watch it, you can listen to it on YouTube, live at Leeds. Queen is good for hangwagon when driving. Most it says we had none of those stores on the West Coast, but that was good. You could actually tell uh, where we were in different places back then. Not see the same 5 stores everywhere. True. We have at least what 3 Targets in this area. How many WalMarts do we have? Yeah, you mentioned in an email, Blueberries, the Metallica was on your radar. 4 months. Kirk Hammett is an evolving soul. This guy says, is it true in Canada they drink milk from a bag? Get a lift. Who not on same league? Get a life. I'm not so sure, Tiger King. This guy says, okay, cool. Yogi cooks a store, almost like Target. Yes, they don't exist any longer. Yeah, no doubt, Tiger King. Queen's an awesome band. I can honestly say that Queen is the only band that ever had a astrophysicist as a guitar player. Just says New Year's Eve going to an 80s show. Awesome. Long just says a decent amount. I used to go down to Laurel all the time. Laurel is a hop, skip, and a jump. No, I don't even have to jump. It's a hop and a skip away from me. I used to go to Laurel for nefarious reasons that I'm not ready to say. Just to say, back in the day when there was nickel bags and there was dime bags. All right, guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up. Although I'm having a good time strolling down memory lane with you guys. I like Coles and Belks. We have Coles here. Coles are nice. Blueberry says, Valley Village in Ontario, great thrift store. Macy's is okay, I agree. I cannot ask him to do that, Tiger King. It would not be right. Snipper says, laughing. He is also a planet expert, Eric, of the Pseudoscience Academy. Tiger King says, Lady Sky, do you like pizza? Hey, that would be something to fix. Lady Sky, make your favorite pizza. Fungus says you can get name brand clothes at C-Mart at an insane discount. Hit or miss. Cruising Laurel Mall parking lot. Back in the day, going down Little Tavern. Jess, do you remember Little Tavern? They had one in Columbia Mall, of course, but the original Little Tavern in Laurel. I mean, I have good memories of going down to Laurel. This guy says, yes, Tiger King, but I don't like my stomach, though I can't eat it no more. Thank you, Jess. Jess, love you too, my friend. This guy says, you shopped at Kohl's store, Yogi? I have. It's been a couple years, but I was probably there maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We have one down the road. Good night, 72 Blueberries. He's on par with brilliant pseudoscience actors and artist Brian Cox. Hey, Chris. Chris, how are you? Merry Christmas, my friend. Tiger King. I'd appreciate it if you didn't do that. Long just says Columbia Mall was a great mall. Columbia Mall, it's been a long time since I've been there. It's turned into something totally different. I was king of the mall rats at Columbia Mall back in the day. I worked at several stores there. I worked at a GNC there. I worked at a Nature's Food Center there. I worked at a Hudson Trail Outfitters. I worked at It's All Greek to Me. Where else did I work? Yeah, Columbia Mall is. I can take a bike path and walk to Columbia Mall in probably half an hour. It's about a 5-minute drive. Chris says, Merry Christmas, Yogi, to you and your brother and to your loved ones. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Latest guy says hi to Nature's Dog Realm. Sure says it's so funny to reminisce about the teenage years. It is. It is. Oh, just as I worked at Spencer's there. So you knew all about black light posters when I was talking about black lights. Chris says, Lady Sky, happy holidays. You shop at Kohl's? I did shop at Kohl's. Of course, I think the last time I was there was last few times there was not shopping for myself, actually going there with actually I bought running shoes there, not 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. Tiffany says I love going to malls, can't stand them now. Just see commercials for me now. Yeah, I would not go to a mall if I could avoid it. So you do drink milk from bags. Just says, yes, blacklight posters covered my room. All right, guys. This time for sure, I'm going to bed. I will see everyone. If you're around, come on by at 5 o'clock. Saturday, Sunday, no guest. I think I've asked Adam if he wanted to come up Sunday. So it's up to him if he does. Always enjoy hanging out and talking with Adam. As far as I know now, guest wise, we have Miss Flipper on Monday. We have Sniper on Tuesday. Tom or Sniper on Wednesday. Tom coming up on Tuesday, and then next Friday, starting the new year off, Fiona Visser coming up. She is a Course in Miracles teacher, student, and author. And I have someone on the 1st, starting the year off right, 525. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye, Sherry. Hey, Kit Kat. Do I got the 11 bucks I owe you? Man, you said it was mine. You said I could have it. You said nothing about paying you back. Poster says, what would happen if Amazon Variety Store opened up everywhere? Man, that would be, I think that would be bad overall for the economy. Don't you think? Just says she'll send me some pics of what my room used to look like. My mother made me take it all down before college and probably threw a party. We love you too, Enviromed. Melissa says, imagine if suddenly nothing was on still online again. Wow. Sniper says his room was covered in rave flyers. I had a Beatles poster. I had Zeppelin. I had Deep Purple poster. I had lots of Grateful Dead posters. All right. I miss Sears too. Sears was a good store. I bought a lot of exercise stuff as a kid at Sears. I didn't see anyone put you on timeout. Tiger King. I did not see anyone do that. And I looked up above and I don't see you timed out. I don't see it, Tiger King. Lady Sky says I bought shoes at Sears, Yogi, and clothes. I bought clothes at Sears too. How about you, man? You could buy anything at Sears. It was a good store. All right. I don't know who timed you out. I didn't think you could be timed out, Tiger King. You could have been timed out for 10 minutes because your comment was just above. All right. But I got to go to bed. Tiger King, I'm sorry you timed out. You need to give me your email address sometime. Or you need to have my email address, and you can always send me a message. It was a great store, Lady Sky. Hey, Left Shell. Myself. Oh, no, that's messages. Almost got through a whole live without drama. Almost. I would like to. Remember, everyone's responsible for helping keep any place drama free. Because you got to participate in it. Hey, Harvey. Stranger Things is coming out 1 p.m. Hey, enjoy. I didn't see the last 2 seasons. I enjoyed it, though. I enjoyed the first couple seasons. Gotta go. All right, guys. I love you. Good night. I'll see you in the morning if you're around.